You've been thinking all this time that Natsu's the one that's going to save the day and that he's going to beat the final villain, Acnologia Zeref, but you don't know that actually Lucy could be the key to solving this problem. Key? You get it? Celestial Spirit Key? Lucy? Heartfillia? Just play the fucking intro. Here today to bring you a discussion, and this is one that I've been thinking about for a while now. Actually, I've been like pondering about this one because there's a lot going on recently with the latest chapters about the Heartfillia name, about like the ancestors. Although we've got like Anna, Heartfillia, Layla, we've got Lucy as well. I'm thinking like, where is she exactly going, and what role is she going to play in this giant war that we're having now with Alvarez? Because all she's really done recently is seemingly recruited Brandish onto their side, and she hasn't really been on the front lines for most of this war. So I'm wondering, what exactly is she going to be doing whilst the whole big fight's during, you know, with Acnologia is going to be happening, with Zeref? Like, what is going to be her role? Because I believe Lucy's going to play a big part in this story. Now, one of the biggest things that really kind of prompted this is because Aquarius, we still don't know what she was going to say to Lucy. Like, she was going to reveal something to her that was going to be important. Now, people were saying that it was going to be everything about like Natsu, who he was, about him being END, about some kind of stuff that's been going on around her sides, and I don't believe it's that. I don't think she's just going to tell us about that. I think there's more prominent questions that she's going to say, and actually something that could reveal to actually maybe even stopping Acnologia or even just killing him. Or potentially sealing him. Just wait a minute, it's going to get good in a bit. One of my possible theories about what exactly she's going to do is that she is able to contact in some way Anna and Layla Heartfillia, whether that be from the Celestial Spirit Archives, whether that be like through a technique that Wendy used with Zirconis, because we've been able to talk to the dead previously before with like Wendy's technique that she did on the dragons, and she was able to get information on that. So maybe we can possibly get something like that with the Celestial Spirits. Maybe like Celestial Spirits, like once they die or pass away, like maybe part of their spirit lives on. Maybe even the Celestial Spirit Archives that we have seen that shows like prominent memories of Celestial Spirits. Maybe there could be some answers that lie in there, or a technique or some kind of information that we don't know about yet that could actually lead to us finding a way to either defeat Acnologia or Zeref. Because at the moment, Lucy has always been kind of made a joke of saying that she's one of the most weakest characters out the entire fairy tale main group. If you compare her to Natsu, Urza, Gray, Wendy, Gagio, or like out of all of them. And even so, like we know that the 7 most powerful warriors, the Dragon Slayers, and all that, are in a key prominent part of defeating Acnologia. Is to say that we need these 7 strong boys, and the reason that they got sent to this timeline in the first place was because there was a strong amount of magic in this time, so this is where they had the highest chance of defeating Acnologia. Now, all we know from so far about Lucy's techniques that we know, and her strongest ones that she's got in her arsenal, is Ulanometria, which we've seen that can do quite a bit of damage. I'd say it's like one of her out of the singular moves she can actually do. She's able to summon the Celestial Spirit King by breaking a key down, which that is the one at least like she's going to summon that, and we've seen already like that wasn't even able to really do that much, and only was able to seal the Mard gear. It didn't exactly do too much of that, and she has her Star Dress forms, which we've seen a little bit of, where she gets to tap into the power of her Celestial Spirit Keys, like we've seen with her using Leo, Virgo, Aries, a bunch of them. And you're thinking, what the fuck can Lucy do against this war? Compared to like the unkillable Zeref, like the god himself, Acnologia, like the Dragon King, like what can you do against these characters? What can this like, you know, big titty blonde do against these characters? Well, I feel like there's a couple of techniques that could be in a way that could help her, or even itself, like maybe her, defeat Acnologia herself. As I still think Zeref is going to be taken down by Natsu at the end, but I still think even still, like Lucy's going to have a big part even helping down, taking down Acnologia. One thing, as I kind of mentioned, is like she can go into the Celestial Spirit Archive and she can learn some information from either Layla or Anna, or go through those memories, because we said that Anna, out of all of them, was the greatest Celestial Spirit magician out of all of them. Now, why was she? Was it just because of how strong and gifted she was with her magic? Was there like some secret technique that she could do with them? Like how many she could summon? Because from what we've seen of like Lucy, I believe like her limit so far that she's been able to summon is about like 4, like maybe 3 at a time. Like I believe that's the highest she's able to summon quantity, and like even still we've seen like about like going into saying like she's done like about she could probably summon like all of them all at the same time. We've seen her like go absolutely and like summon all her keys once before and saying like, oh, in the Celestial Spirit world, although that's a little bit different because that's where they all were. Now, I feel like there is going to be a point where Lucy is probably going to have to summon all of them at one point and use something as known as using Raid, which we haven't seen in a while. The last time we probably saw this is when Sting and Ro combined to do their techniques. That's the last time we've really seen this technique. We've seen it when like Lucy and Julia has done it. We've also as well seen it when like I believe like Lucy and Wendy went in to combine like the Sandbuster with also as well like the Sky Dragon Roar that held Natsu to go in against Hades. If we have all 12 Celestial Spirits, like including as well the Celestial Spirit King as well, and we had them all in the Yushin Raid and actually combined all their powers together, then we could actually see this blast. And you're probably wondering how on earth could Lucy even get this power anyway? Like she hasn't got that much of the magical capability even after the time skip. Well, we've always been talking as well about Mavis, which the whole point of Mavis right now with Fairy Heart is that she's an unlimited supply of magic, and that Lucy could actually temper off this magic and actually be able to summon all the keys at once and actually do this like forbidden technique. And I honestly don't see any other way she's going to do this. I doubt she's going to get a big last minute buff from this unless she's using the Mavis like Fairy Heart to actually use this technique. The next thing is actually using as well, back to Mavis, is using Mavis herself to open up the Eclipse Door. Now we saw like what the Eclipse was, like the main reason why the Eclipse Door was next to the Grand Magic Games in the first place is because powerful warriors from all over the world would be going over their most powerful guilds, would be all clashing together, putting down their magic. Now what's the best way to open the Eclipse Door with an unlimited supply of magic? And although it would be out in the open and it'd be very dangerous for them to do, if they started using like Mavis's like Fairy Heart and actually opening up that door, then we could be able to open the Eclipse Door again and possibly send like Acnologia to another timeline. Now you think as well like, well, don't we have to open it from both sides? That's the biggest thing about the Eclipse Door, is that it has to have two people on both sides sending it from the destination. However, we have seen loopholes already with like what has had to happen with using the 12 Celestial Spirit keys as well to open this door. We've seen that Layla has actually used 11 of these keys to find a loophole, although she did have to use her own life force for this, and potentially Lucy could do this in a way where she would have to sacrifice her entire life to even do this. Now with Layla, she was already weak from the start, so this definitely did like cause into her death. If she is potentially dead or not, that could be something else, trust me. But imagine with like the Fairy Heart, not to mention as well, like if there's so much of the loophole where you don't even need another person behind the game, you could do something in the words of like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and get to the world where at the point where it is destroyed, or maybe you could have someone on the other side actually setting right at the moment of Earth's destruction or something, could do something like that. I doubt that we're going to go way too into that stuff, but that is a potential way how Lucy could actually seal, like, or even as well, she could actually lock both doors. If we're saying like she went to try to send them back during to Anna's time, Layla's like time at all when this like when the whole eclipse was going, you could actually use the eclipse and lock both doors forcibly right there. But then it's like, how would Anna do it from her side? Well, Anna is known as one of the most powerful people, so I imagine she could do something like that, or even if it could be extremely more fucked up, she could actually die at that point and then the entire Heartfillia name could just disappear from the entire books, no one ever knowing Heartfillia like what they did. That would be a very messed up thing they could do, and it could be definitely more reminiscent of like the Bleach movie, Memories of the Nobody, where no one remembered, I believe the character's name was Senna at the end. And one thing as well, like she could also do with the Celestial Spirit magic as well, is that maybe in some way she is able to control N. She has some possible way other than the book itself that it's like is something his life force. We could also know that maybe she has some way to either make the dragons stronger, like all the dragon slayers even more powerful than what they are. Maybe there's something with the Celestial Spirits, because there is definitely a big connection between the Celestial Spirits and the dragons, like we've seen from a little bit of them. So she could possibly even buff them up or even make them stronger, even way more powerful than what Wendy has ever been able to do with her buff spells. And not to mention as well, she could also as well, like we're going back into Yushin Raid, where she could actually use that, like with everyone else, the one big final attack. Although it's cheesy as that sounds, if everyone combined their powers, like I'm talking about all of Fairy Tail, all of Mermaid Heel, all of Jalal's people with the Ash on 6, like every single guild that we know, if you're like cut it in a spirit bomb way, combining their magic into one giant union raid and just blast it into Acnologia, then that is a way that could be fun. And you know, who would be the catalyst? Who would be the one that controls that and actually fires and pulls the trigger? Well, it would probably be Natsu and Lucy in that point, because like Lucy would be able to probably maybe control some of that magic alongside with Natsu maybe. That is a potential I could see there. But at the end of the day, we can only wait and see. This is only a theory. This is not like anything that I think will definitely happen. I think there are some ways out there, like I've given a few suggestions. So honestly, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this. Do you think Lucy is going to be a key point in defeating Acnologia? Do you think she's just going to be in the sidelines and it's just going to be all up to Natsu? Like, what is going to happen in the final arc? I think there's some definitely stuff, and definitely Alvarez, like our entire final arc, which I'm supposedly believing it is definitely heating up. But that's all from me, so thank you very much for watching as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.